everybody. This is Chelsea with Ready Jet Go Travels, and we're here for Let's Travel series. We have Daniel from Katarina Lines with us today. I'll bring him on in just a minute. I just wanted to do some housekeeping with you all. If you're here and you have any questions about traveling, Katarina Lines is a cruise line, a small, lovely, intimate cruise line located in Croatia. So we're going to be talking about travel to Croatia, cruising with Katarina. If you have any questions about travel, these can be about the logistics of travel, about traveling during COVID, about Katarina Lines specifically, or even about Croatia. If you have any of those questions, be sure that you type them in the comments below so that way we can answer them. I will be playing a video for Katarina Line in just a moment, and then after that we'll bring Daniel on and we'll just kind of chat back and forth. I'm really excited. I think you all are really going to love this product. It is definitely high on my list of travels. I'm going to be doing it either this year or next. My husband might not know that yet, but we will be booking something very soon because this is much different cruising than what you think of whenever you think of hopping on a cruise ship and going to the Caribbean. So before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and play the Katarina video for Katarina Line, and then Daniel and I will be back and start chatting.
On the horizon, dawn is breaking, a brand new day. The best kept secrets of the Croatian Adriatic are waiting to be discovered. If you've ever dreamt of becoming an Adriatic explorer, set your mind free and indulge in the luxury of the Katarina Line Deluxe Cruise. Cruise along the coastline and around wondrous islands. Enjoy the silence and beauty of the incredible scenery. Reveal Croatia, a work of art by an unknown artist. The newly built deluxe fleet caters for 36 people per ship, provides excellent service aboard, and is ideal for small groups or individuals looking for a carefree vacation. Its modern furnishing and comfortable interiors go perfectly with the comprehensive list of services included in the package, from airport transfers and guided tours. The crew will give you a warm welcome, making you feel like a part of the Katarina Line family. Enjoy the high-quality service and the idea of a perfect getaway. All you need to do is get on a plane, and the Katarina Line will take care of the rest. Depart from Opatija, the cradle of Croatian tourism and our hometown, with its ideal geolocation as a perfect getaway to the Croatian coast. Admire the pristine beauty of the northern gems scattered around the lush evergreen islands, and live the moments reserved only for dreamers. Cruising from Split or Dubrovnik reveals the divine Dalmatian Islands, charming coastal towns that provide an authentic Mediterranean experience. Different daily ports tell their stunning stories. Visit the home of Marco Polo, cruise along the old Dubrovnik walls, or simply enjoy a traditional dinner in a unique hilltop village in the hinterlands. The diverse regions and foreign influences over the centuries have left their mark on Croatian cuisine, so be sure to taste our national specialities in 3 or 4 courses. On Deluxe Cruises, a gourmet experience is awaiting you, with every dish telling its own flavorful story. Every sunrise is a new chance to fully live Croatia. Through unique national parks, centuries-old customs, and historical sites leaving you in awe. Our professional guides will make the experience even better. You will walk together like old friends, talking about how it once was. Ask, learn, feel the local spirit, live the history around you. Soak it all in. It is the greatest souvenir you can bring back home. Memories that will make you smile forever. Board one of Katarina Line deluxe vessels for a cruise of a lifetime.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little 5-minute clip to kind of give you an idea of Katarina Line. And now I would like to welcome Daniel to the show. Hi, Daniel.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Daniel, first, thank you for taking some time today to chat with us. First, I know a lot of people watching may not have ever been to Croatia, and maybe they're not really familiar with Croatia in general. So before we start talking about Katarina Line, can you tell us a bit about Croatia?
Mhm. Yeah, so Croatia is a fairly new country. We got our independence from former Republic of Yugoslavia in 1992, even though Croatia has a long, long history of Croatian kings. So we are one of the countries of former Yugoslavia, and we had our war that started in 90s, and since the independence 92, we are fully recognized international country and recognized by United States and the EU. Today, we are in a part of the EU. We are just between Italy and Greece. So on the other side of on the other side of Italy, I live 30 minutes from Italian border, about 2.5 hours from Venice, Italy, on the top of northern Croatia. And it stretches along the coast all the way down to town of Dubrovnik that a lot of people have heard. Lately, Dubrovnik has been also famous for the Game of Thrones. That's the King's Landing from the TV series for those who follow that show.
Yes, that has been very big lately. So I'm sure has Croatia seen an increase in tourism just based on people kind of traveling to see Dubrovnik?
Oh yeah, Dubrovnik has been on the map in the last 6 or 7 years, especially for larger cruise liners. It's become a must stop for the Mediterranean cruise. A lot of ships that go out of Venice, their first overnight or their last overnight is in Dubrovnik. So it became a big cruising destination. And there I experienced people thinking that Croatia is part of Dubrovnik, not the other way around. That's how famous it became. Even our cruises now have departures from Dubrovnik, like from 2 more other towns, Split and Opatija. But Dubrovnik is one of the towns in the part of Croatia which we call Dalmatia. The Dalmatian dogs, those originate in Croatia, and so Dubrovnik is one of the biggest towns in that region. And another fun fact about Dubrovnik, in the history, Dubrovnik used to be a town state, and it was actually a first state to recognize U.S. independence.
Oh, well, that is very interesting. I did not know that. Okay, so I mean, clearly people are coming for Game of Thrones. What other what other interesting facts are there about Croatia for somebody that's just not really, not really, it's not on their radar.
Well, yeah, there's many interesting facts about Croatia in general, and that's how a lot of people are thinking, oh, where did I hear Croatia? Where did I hear Croatia? We have a lot of famous sport people. I don't know, Tony Kukoc used to play for the Chicago Bulls. Nikola Tesla, the Tesla cars, he's Croatian. The tie was invented in Croatia, the Croats, the ties. This is our trademark. So there's many things that we are famous for, but lately, especially in Europe, we are mostly known for tourism for untouched nature. We are kind of off the map. A lot of people have been in Italy, a lot of people have been in Greece, but Croatia is a mix of both. Another TV movie that gave us additional exposure is the Mamma Mia second part, which happens in Greece, but it was all filmed in Croatia. So that's the beauties that we are talking about. And then especially our islands, because we have over 1,200 islands. And I've heard also people comparing our islands to Florida Keys, that type of islands. A lot of small islands in one little area.
A lot of small islands and beautiful water, like we saw in the video, just that crystal clear. A lot of what we think of when we think of the Caribbean, just because that's something close that we can correlate with, but the water is just stunning.
The water is stunning for two reasons, because we do not have sandy beaches. All of our beaches are either rock or pebbles. That's what makes the water clear. Plus, the sea current takes all of the stuff from our side of the area, goes around to Italian side. So additional clearance of the water.
Very good. Just
Yeah.
any of the gunk just goes this way, and you get the crystal waters.
Exactly. And then another thing is that Croatia, we are on Adriatic Sea. Now, sea is not an ocean. It's closer to a lake than to an ocean. So the sea is most of the time calm, especially in the summer season. So from April through October. This is how our small ships are cruising also only April through October, where in winter nights, even at the lakes, that's the same thing with our seas, can be more rougher, additional waves. But throughout the season, it's calm seas and very easy, like you could see on the video as well.
Awesome. So your cruising season is April to October. And why don't you tell us a little bit about Katarina Line and the history of the company? I love this story. Like, I love small, like very family oriented suppliers. So this is perfect. But tell us a little more about Katarina Line.
Okay, so we are a family-owned, family-run travel agency since 1992. Katarina is actually my mother. She started the company after working 17 years in a government-owned, communist-owned national travel agency called Kvarner Express in former Yugoslavia. As soon as Croatia got its independence, she was able to open up her own travel agency, and she did it with help of other travel agents from all over Europe and the rest of the world. Me and my sister, we went to United States, got our education there, finished some schools, and returned back home to help to grow the family business to what it is today. At the beginning, my mom was a one-man band, we call it. She was a travel agent doing incoming to Croatia to anyone who would like to come to war-torn countries. So she was only dealing with agents from Czech Republic, Hungary, a little bit of Germany, and some Scandinavia who were not scared because they knew what was going on and where the war is and that the sea was not touched. And that was going on for a couple of years, and then she realized she needed to do something different. So she gathered these small wooden pirate-like boats. That's the only type of ships that we had at the time. They were very simple, bunk beds, common showers and toilets, no air conditioning. And that's how we kind of started doing some kind of cruising. It was only 3 nights or a 5-night cruise. But we saw the potential there, and we started building first steel hull boats in around 2000. And now they looked like the old traditional wooden boats, but they were made out of steel. They had larger rooms. We had air conditioning, and so we were now more appealing to Western um, clients, UK, Germany, Sweden. And that business was growing slowly, but we realized soon that we needed even better ships. So last 10 years, we're building yacht-like ships that are still the same size of the original boat. So maximum 36 clients per ship. That's a very important thing across the whole fleet. Long story short, today we're running 60 boats in 6 different categories. So the best are the deluxe yacht-like boats, where our traditional boats still exist. We still use them today. Probably will not be using them in these COVID times anymore because last 5 years we used them for backpacker market, young fun party cruises, spring break type of vacation. That's a big no now with COVID, but so they will probably be on in docks for this next 2 years, and who knows? Hopefully, we will bring him back, or we'll bring him back in some other way.
Yes, I hope so.
So that's in short.
Those are like they look like pirate ships. They're so much fun, and there's something that seems like I don't know, kind of like takes you back in history to be on a pirate ship in essence, just sailing the islands. So those I love those ships. I mean, don't get me wrong, you put me on a yacht and I'm gonna be happy, but there is something really fun about those traditional ships.
Yeah, not just that, but they're all made out of real wood. We have a couple of ships that are over 100 years old, the original hull, and then they have been refurbished a couple of times and added cabins and so on. But when sailing on them and going from island to island, like they used to 100 years ago, you can still hear the wood squeaking, and it gives a different sense. And I also personally like those better. And but you move advance with more space for more people. So today the deluxe boats are something what's needed, what's expected. The cuisine has moved, where on the original boats we have much smaller kitchens. It was much more cozier. Everybody was even closer to each other, and like I said, with new COVID regulations today, that's hard to do on the smaller boats.
Yes, yes, we understand. Talk to me about the cruises in general. I know sometimes whenever you get smaller, like cruise ships, even like river cruises, they come with age restrictions. So, are your cruises family friendly or are they targeted for adults? Like, what does that look like?
So all of our cruises are family friendly. We had these original boats, the wooden ones we had for the party cruises, and over there we restricted 18 to 30 and like-minded. That was the suggestion that we had on the party boats. But that was just a small portion of our cruise line. The rest of our routes and our ships are all family oriented or uh, accepted. So our typical client is somebody in their mid 50s, or couples, or families with 2 children, and they take 2 cabins, and somebody who wants to see a lot in 7 days and swim throughout these 7 days and not be stationary. This is the success story of our cruises, is because we have been moving from island to an island already now 26 years, 28 years company exists. And, just last couple of years, Europe realized that clients want to move from place to place and not to be only holed up in one hotel. So our cruises have been doing that throughout the time.
Yes, and it's important, especially for travelers coming from the States. I mean, those are longer flights, and once we get there, I mean, we might not be back for a while, so definitely show us as much as you can and let us see all of the beauty and experience all of the things. So,
Yeah, and this is, let me give you a typical day with our ship. So it's 7 day cruises in general. We have some shorter, or you can book a longer ones. But the typical day would start with the breakfast, of course, prepared on the ship around 8 o'clock. We would then make a short sail for about an hour and a half, up to 2 hours, and we are looking for a secluded bay to a small beach that can only be reached by the boat. And this is our first swim stop. That's a big highlight. This is where we're swimming. That's the difference from us to a river cruises or any of the bigger cruises, that you can actually jump off the ship, go for a snorkel around the ship, and then all of a sudden you hear a bell ringing around noon, 12:30. That means lunch is ready. So everyone is swimming back to the ship or getting down from the sunbathing, and we have lunch that somebody has already prepared and served in the ship saloon. During the lunchtime, we don't even notice that the ship is already moving towards the next destination, towards the next swim stop. So we make another short swim stop before coming into the next town around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So every afternoon we're in a different new port, different new town where we stay overnight. We don't have any night cruising, which allows then clients to experience this new town. So for example, we come into Dubrovnik. We are there at around 4 o'clock. You have plenty of time to go see the city walls, to do a city tour, to join any of the excursions. Most of the excursions are included. Or to go and find your own little restaurant in the town and try local calamari or something, or the real pizza. And then we stay overnight. We stay overnight in the town, which means that you can go out and do some prep crawl or something, which the young fun cruises mostly did. They did bar hopping most of the time. And your ship is located where in the center of the town, because all of the towns in Croatia, especially the ones on the islands, were based around the ports, around the small harbors where these original boats would dock. And same is today. So that's a typical town. So you have 7 different excursions in 7 days, and it's always different. We never repeat the town, even if we're going one-way routes or if we go round trips.
Very good. You mentioned a lot of times those excursions are included. So let's talk about what you get whenever you sign up for one of these cruises. Is everything all inclusive? Like, are there any expenditures that people should expect, or is it just kind of hop on the ship and have a good time?
It depends on a category. As I mentioned, we have 6 different categories. The US, Canadian, UK, Australian clients usually book our deluxe and deluxe superior yacht-like cruises, where we have really included everything that we could in the price. So things we start from airport transfer. So we pick you up at the airport and drive you either to your hotel if you came one day earlier, or directly to the port, to your ship, to your cabin. And then all the excursions are included in the price in the deluxe and deluxe superior, meaning that every day you have 2, sometimes 3 excursions to choose from. You have a cruise director on the boat, and you tell him, listen, tomorrow we're in Split, I want to go on a city tour. Then we also have additional excursions that can be booked on request, things like, I don't know, a scuba diving experience. So we do have 2 to 3 excursions included in the price, but there's also additional ones offered for special interest. If somebody heard about it, we can arrange it. Of course, meals are included, breakfast and lunch every day, and then on our deluxe superior cruises, we have 3 additional dinners: captain's evening, captain's night, a national evening with local music, and then we have additional night in a local like let's call it a restaurant, local place where we try a local smoked ham and cheese, so something similar to a local night. On our lower category cruises, for example, premium and premium superior, here we have 3 excursions included in the week. And those are the main ones, like a city tour of Dubrovnik, Split, and one wine tasting excursion. And then our lowest categories, traditional and sweet ships. Here we only have meals included in the cruise, because mostly here is younger people who are not necessarily interested so much in all the excursions, and then they'll book them on their by themselves. In terms of drinks, in our deluxe program, we have drinks included with meals. every day, and then additional drinks would be paid at the bar. But in Croatia, drinks are so inexpensive. Beer will run you around $2 in the best place, and then if you want a $100 bottle of wine, you pay it in the United States or in Croatia the same way. Local wine is very inexpensive as well. So not too many additional fees that once you booked your cruise with your local agent, you're pretty much set. Gratuities, that's something that we leave up to each client, how they feel. Everybody likes, the crew likes to receive them, but they are not mandatory, or they will not be additionally charged, like I hear that's happening on some of the bigger cruise lines.
Yes, it's not uncommon at all for gratuities to greatly increase the cost of your cruise quite quickly, especially
Yeah.
for people who haven't cruised before and don't realize that those are tacked on to those major cruise lines. So, and I like
Yeah.
the way that you do kind of like the tiered excursions, because that lets people kind of decide if they want to go ahead and do the deluxe category and have it all taken care of, or maybe they want to go that premium category and do a couple of
Mm.
excursions and then spend a couple of days just exploring on their own. So I think that kind of opens it up for travelers to really kind of more customize their experience with you.
Yeah, and then also what I wanted to mention is that all of our ships will be in the same area. It's not that the deluxe cruise will go to Dubrovnik and then the premium will not. So we are all cruising in the same area. We are all using the similar places to swim. We don't have exception, special island where only deluxe ships will go. So the general experience of swimming and enjoying the sun and experiencing the towns is the same for all the categories. It's only this. It's like being in a 5-star hotel or a 4-star or a 3-star, where you have additional things included in the price, or something that can be added to the price.
So, let's talk about like your itineraries. Is there an itinerary that is your most popular? If we have travelers that are interested and wanting to book something, is there a most popular or a most recommended itinerary for them?
Yeah, the most popular, it's two of them, two routes, and they are both in the Dalmatia and Dalmatian part of Croatia, starting from Split. Either do a 7-day one-way route from Split to Dubrovnik, or a round trip from Split to Split, especially if you have a connecting flight to additional place in Europe or so on. But what we are seeing from United States, what's become the most popular, it's so-called land and tour cruise, where clients would book a land and tour, either start in Venice, Italy, or in our capital, Zagreb. So you would fly to Venice or to Zagreb, and then we would take you on a 3-day tour of Croatia by land to visit our most popular places, our capital, and the national park Plitvice Lakes, which is 16 lakes connected with series of waterfalls, seen on many movies. That's something like your Yellowstone. That's Plitvice to us. That's how important the national park is. And then after 3 nights, you end up in Split, and we put you on a cruise. That way, the clients maybe got over the jet lag if they had one, and they can enjoy their cruise more thoroughly, not just get from the plane directly on such a small boat. So land and cruise from either Venice or Zagreb to Split, and then one-way route to Dubrovnik, and then fly out of Dubrovnik. Or some clients need additional days. They want to see Dubrovnik much more in detail, so we can offer additional stays in one of the town's hotels.
Okay, great. Now let's talk about traveling during this time of COVID. Um,
Mhm.
are Americans even able to travel to Croatia right now?
Yeah, this is something that's been going very well for Croatia, and that I'm personally very proud of. Throughout the pandemic, so from March, let's call it, Croatia has been open for US. We never closed the borders for US citizens. and clients were coming, not as before, but even today we are open for US citizen. The only thing that changed was in July 10th, Croatia introduced a need for a 48-hour negative PCR test. Before July 10th, you could come in the same as me anytime, and so Croatia remained one of the few countries that was welcoming U.S. citizens throughout the whole situation. Some of you will say, yeah, but we're not allowed to travel to Europe, and Croatia is a part of the EU, which is true, but we are not part of the so-called Schengen zone. So we get to make our own rules in terms of borders. So let's say somebody wants to fly tomorrow to Croatia, you can easily fly to one of the Europe's hubs, London, Frankfurt, Paris, Rome, and be on a transit zone because you have a connecting flight to Croatia. And that way you can fly, and once you come to the Croatian border, you need to provide the 48-hour negative PCR test, or even if you don't have it, you can then make it in Croatia and wait for the results, which is a day and a half in your hotel or at one of our ships. So that's also another option. It's not that we will not let you get into the country or that you will be stuck at the border or anything. So travel is open, and it was open throughout this summer, like I mentioned, and we did cruise the summer. We're one of the few cruise lines in the world that cruised this summer. Croatia was in a lockdown as everyone else in Europe in April and May. We got our numbers down to 0 cases in June and July, which was amazing. I mean, we never had any high numbers. We had maybe 50s, high 70s at the beginning. And so we opened the borders in June, and 20th of June was the first cruise that we had started with 1 ship out of 60. In August, we were up to 8 ships, which was very good. And then the numbers in Europe started coming back. So slowly, countries started closing up with their borders. We ended our season on 15th of October this summer, and it was actually a group from United States, 31 clients from California. Enjoyed it was the best cruise ever, and because it was not so many ships around, not so many clients, but they all did their testing and came and enjoyed the cruise. And that's how we closed this season. Now the numbers are increasing, so it's not that we are that good as we were in June and July, but as you can maybe see, I'm in the office, my children are in school and in kindergarten. So even though our numbers are much, much higher today, like the rest of the Europe, people are, doing what they can. We are taking care of ourselves, wearing masks all the time, social distancing, and we are remained half open, so to say. Bars and restaurants are open just for delivery, but maybe people are not as scared of the whole situation as they were in April and May.
Yes, and I'm hopeful too that we'll get through this winter and things will just kind of start to get better like they did. The numbers were a little better during the summer, and that went well. Talk to me about masks while on the cruise ship. What are the regulations there?
Okay, so when preparing to start the 2020 season, when we realized that we will be closed because we usually start in April, we had whole 2 months to adjust and to see what to do and how we're gonna. So we looked at all the different precautions that other big ships were mentioning that they will be using, the big cruise liners, and we wanted to implement that and even more to our smaller boats. Again, I'll repeat, it's only 36 clients per ship, so it's like a private yacht. So what we did, we said, okay, the mask will be mandatory for all the crew. We have up to 9 crew members on our ship, so our crew has to wear the mask at all times, especially when when dealing with clients, when unless they're in their own quarters, in their own cabins, and so on. So, and we left it up to the clients if they are going to be wearing the masks and when. We said, okay, of course, during the lunch and breakfast, no point when you're sitting down. So what we said, if you're leaving the seat, if you're going to move out of the saloon, wear masks. Then if you're sunbathing on deck, you don't have to. So we kind of left it to a common sense when to wear and when not to wear.
Right.
I forgot to mention that for since we cruised since 20th of June till 15th of October, we did not have reported any of the COVID cases on our ships, which means that we implemented good all the additional other measures like additional cleaning, no more buffets for lunch or dinner. So we had buffet, but it was served to clients. So we really implemented a lot of different small things that maybe clients do not see, but are there in place to minimize the COVID effects.
Yeah.
Now we will see how it goes till summer. What will be with vaccination? What will be with testing? Will the testing be available even on each corner? And then will we require people to take the quick tests before entering the ship? That's something that the whole tourism industry is still deciding and debating on.
Yes, there's a whole lot of fluidity there as as the vaccine becomes available and as testing becomes more accessible and the results come back faster. I think it gives us more options as far as travel. But then as travelers, we have to be aware that, those might be things that we're asked to do, but it helps to open things up and, get us moving again because nobody likes sitting at home. Nobody likes sitting at home.
But people keep forgetting that, or maybe don't know about the fact that when you travel to certain countries in Africa, you need to be vaccinated for certain, or you need to take the certain pills if you even want to enter the country. So, it's been here in smaller amounts, different cases, but if it's something that we're obviously going to have to get used to until it stops for good.
Right. Um, Daniel, I don't have any questions that have come in for you. And I think I've gotten through all of my questions. Do you have anything else that you want to share with us or anything else that you'd like us to know about Croatia or Katarina Line or anything?
Well, I would just like to remind everyone that, again, that we are open, that we are the new, not the new, but new undiscovered place in Europe where, a lot of people are dreaming about their Greece vacation or about the Italian vacation. And we are kind of mix of everything because we have a lot of Italian influence. We have a lot of olive oil, a lot of wine in Croatia. Unfortunately, we don't have any of the huge producers that could then offer such big amounts of olive oil or wine in all over the world, which makes it even more interesting, meaning that you can try some local specific wines, local lavender fields, we are everything that to smaller scale. You have to remember that Croatia is only 4 million people, so we are a very small country, but with so much history and so many national beauties to offer.
Yes, I think Croatia is an excellent choice for travelers that like something a little more off the beaten path or a little more intimate and not quite as touristy to where you just kind of lose the feel of the country that you're visiting. So
yeah, in last 10 years we were able to make the switch from being a second country that you would visit, like a lot of US clients would go to Europe for 2 or 3 weeks with their main goal is to see either Paris or London, and then they have additional week and they would choose. We were able to end up being that second week as a country. But now lately we're seeing that Croatia is becoming the first choice, and they want to go 7 days in Croatia, and then they'll see if they'll go stop by Munich or something else. So that's the switch that we were able to make, and I'm sure that our cruises helped us do it. We had last summer over 8,600 U.S. clients on our ships throughout the season, from April through October, and a lot of returning clients. So that shows
Yes, I
that
think
it's
there's a lot
interesting.
for Katarina Line, and the product that you're offering to have repeat clients is like the best compliment ever.
Yeah. And we forgot to mention that all of our programs, all of our routes can be easily booked with ReadyJet Go tours, and then you can find your all of our special programs and special offers with Chelsea. So feel free to ask her for any of the questions, information, and if she needs additional information, I'll be emailing those.
Well, Daniel, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that the viewers, learn some stuff, and hopefully they put a new destination on the top of their bucket list. So, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Chelsea, for inviting me, and thank you, everyone, for your time.
Bye, Daniel.
Bye bye.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today while we chatted with Daniel from Katarina Line. I hope that, watching this has kind of given you maybe a nice incentive to look into Croatia. I've talked to Mac and have told him that we will definitely be booking something with Katarina Line very, very soon. Their product is just something that I think is special because it's not so mass touristy, which sounds funny coming from a travel agent because tourism is what, pays my bills. But I think there's something very special and something that's very unique about traveling to a destination and spending your time and your money with a supplier that, cares, and they have that family vibe, so you know that when you're with them you're going to be well taken care of, and Katarina Line really provides that. So if you all have any questions about Croatia, about Katarina Line, or anything like that, you can always drop it in the comments. I'll always circle back around and answer any questions that you have. If watching this live has kind of sparked your interest in Croatia and it's something that you want to look at, please contact me. The pricing really for what you're getting for a week's cruise with them is very affordable, and definitely something that you'll want to do at least once, if not twice or 3 times. But anyway, thanks again, guys, for joining me, and that is all I have for today. So I will see you all in a week. Bye.